Hi, everyone. Good day. It's June the 15th, Monday, day 92. Stay safe at home. Brian Crider reporting in for duty here in Vero Beach, Florida. Headlines in the news today: 2 consecutive days, over 2,000 new positive cases here in Florida. I'll have more information on that. For you newcomers, I daily report the most recent information on the COVID-19 virus, including the daily numbers from Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, Indian River, Martin County, St. Lucie County, all the way up through Brevard and over to Orlando. So I do this every day. I produce COVID-19 news and thoughts for the day at 6:30 in the morning, or 7:01, as you can see right now. And then the numbers come in about 11 o'clock daily. If you are watching this at 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, you're seeing yesterday's information because I don't get the new numbers until 11 o'clock every day, and they don't get posted until about 1 o'clock. So I just thought I'd let you know that. And by the way, I say this every day, don't forget to push the like button. Push, push, push. Like the like button. Thank you. I've been getting good numbers. The numbers are good. I appreciate that very much. I tell you this all the time. I would rather not be doing this. I don't do this because I get a joy out of reporting bad information all the time. I do this because I'm trying to keep you informed, and a lot of people think this is a very good way to stay on top of what's going on with the COVID-19 with respect to Florida, and that's why I do it. So now that you got that right, let's go into our shout-outs today. I do shout-outs to the folks who watch the program frequently, and I do appreciate that. Lois, Elizabeth, Jim Davis, Simphoney Morris, and Harley, Kppen, Bakko. All you folks are always very loyal watchers to my video, and I appreciate that so much. Now, the weather report for the Treasure Coast, the Treasure Coast being Martin County, St. Lucie County, and Indian River counties. That's Stewart, Fort Pierce, and Vero Beach. Doesn't look too great outside right now. It's going to be a great day because it's Monday and it's the first day of the week, but we're going to have a mix of clouds and sun with a slight chance of thunderstorms this afternoon, high about 84 degrees. The winds for you boaters today, north-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and the chance of rain today is about 30%. It looks to be about maybe 0.02 inches. That will be about as much rain as we might get. And then tonight, partly cloudy skies, low around 70 degrees, winds north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Not too bad a day. Not too bad a day. Okay, as I started out telling you about all these new cases, yes, we did have 2 days consecutively with over 2,000 positive cases, and one day was like 25 something. I'll tell you that a little bit later. The percentage of people who tested positive for the first time was 4.46 in Sunday's update, the lowest in 4 days, and the daily average after June high of 6.21%. These percentages start getting more and more complicated. I can tell you that, well, I'll tell you as I go a little bit further on. Florida has tested 75,568 COVID-19 cases with 2,931 deaths and an overall positive rate of 5.4%. So let's go with a 5.4%. That is the overall positive rate. That's all the people who were tested versus all the people who got it. That number hasn't changed a great deal. By the way, occasionally I will tell you where I get this information because people say, Crider, where do you come up with this stuff? I don't get it. Miami Herald. My information there is from the Miami Herald. Of the 1,409,922 people tested in Florida, back again, 5.3% have tested positive. Another 1,184 people are awaiting test results, and that includes me. I was tested last Wednesday. In case you haven't seen my video on testing, it was pretty interesting. It's not that bad. Believe me, it is not that bad. It's about 30 seconds of a little bit of unpleasantness, to say the least. Stick a long Q-tip up your nose, and they don't stick it back down into your throat. It just goes back a little bit further than you would normally stick a Q-tip in there. They twist it around just a little bit. I can say this whole event is like 30 seconds at the absolute most. They pull it out and it's all over. And that nose feels so clean, you will think you have a brand new nose. You breathe out of it like you've never been able to breathe before. and that's the extent of the test, and it doesn't cost anything. At least they haven't sent me a bill yet. Nobody asked me about it. Okay, here's another report. Florida led the nation in new COVID-19 deaths reported Sunday with 2,016 new cases within the previous 24 hours, the second consecutive day, and the state reported more than 2,000 new cases on the record day. The record day, I believe, was Saturday with 2,581 cases. Now, Dr. Fauci, he was on CNN the other day, and he said, I would hope to get some degree of real normality within a year or so, but I don't think it will be this winter or fall. That's what Dr. Fauci says. In other words, he doesn't see us getting back to normal for quite some time. And, you know, he is an expert, and he does know what he's talking about. And a lot of people kind of don't really pay a lot of attention to this news anymore, but it is very important. Okay, when it comes to surviving critical cases of COVID-19, it appears that men draw the short straw. And wouldn't you suspect that? Here's a shocker. Women have a better survival rate than men with the COVID-19 virus. And the question is, why? Well, there are people who can tell you about that, and it has to do with women and estrogen and things that I don't know anything about. But basically, women are ahead of us guys when it comes to the survival rate, especially with you folks who get very seriously ill. The women tend to survive it better than guys, especially in older people. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Rebecca Jones. Rebecca Jones says the Department of Health publishes total cases, not positive people, the website says. Additionally, cases are not currently created for those who receive positive antibody test results, and so the Department of Health excludes them from that total. We show, that means Rebecca Jones, shows the total number of people who have definitive lab results showing they have or had COVID-19, regardless of the type of tests. So the story here is, or the way I understand it, the jury is still out on the antibody tests, and there is a question as to how reliable they are, and if you are tested, do you have a chance of getting it again in the future, and so forth. So the antibody test at the moment is still not a conclusive test. These other tests that we're getting, like the ones that I got at the one that I got at Cleveland Clinic, is pretty reliable. In fact, very reliable, much more so than the antibody test. So that's the information that Rebecca Jones is putting up. Now, every day on the numbers, you'll see it coming up here in just a moment. I give you Rebecca Jones's numbers along with our numbers. I don't think that the state is trying to deceive you, and I don't think that she has any information that's going to be shocking to you as well. I think it's just going to be more confusing. I hate to say that. I think she really means well, and I think she's on her own personal quest. She's in the weeds more than we are on it, but I show you both pieces of information daily, and I hope it's of good information for you, and it's helpful. I tell you also every day, I appreciate you watching these videos, but watching them every day is kind of like weighing yourself every day. It gets a little old, and after a while you wonder if you're really getting anywhere. You do need to know what's going on about this COVID-19. It's very important that you continue to distance space and wear your masks and all that sort of thing. Just because you don't have the disease doesn't mean that you can't get it, and it doesn't mean that you can't spread it. You'll hear me say this every day, and I'm going to continue to do so until it goes away. Okay, back in a flash with the numbers. Hi, everyone. Back in a flash. Here are the numbers for our area that I do every day. By the way, somebody did send me an email and wanted to know if I got my test back for my COVID-19 test that I took over at Cleveland Clinic. I said, no, I have not gotten that back. And they said, well, you really don't look well at all. I said, you ought to see how I look when I'm really sick. For heaven's sakes, boy, oh boy, I got some really great friends out there. Well, thank you anyway. Okay, folks, here we go with Florida. The entire state of Florida. We have 21,500,000 people in this state. We have tested in the past 24 hours 21,172 of new tests that were reported in the past 24 hours. That brought in 1,758 new positives. Well, that got us down out of the 2,000 mark anyway. 73 new hospitalizations and 7 new deaths reported for the entire state of Florida. We're still at 5.40%. 5.04%. 5.40%. That's good. That's the number that's been fairly consistent. Indian River County, that's where we are, here in Vero Beach. 8,978 tests that were totally made. We did another 318 reported in the past 24 hours. We have 11 new positives, 4 new hospitalizations, and actually we had 1 new death reported. Our number is still 2.41%. Now, the reason our number is so low is because, as you can see, we only have 160,000 people in our county, in Indian River County. We've tested 8,978. So we've had the least number of testings of the counties that we're looking at over here. So that does kind of keep our number down, 2.41%. We are the second best in the counties that we're looking at. In Dade County, they tested 2,410 new people were reported in the past 24 hours. New positives, 280 came in Dade County. 1 new hospitalization and 1 new death in Dade County. Although, look at this. Their cases versus tests is 9.34. Not good. 9.34. Don't like that number at all. Let's go up to Broward County. In Broward County, we're looking at new tests that were reported in the past 24 hours as 1,657. You can see these numbers on the left-hand side if you want me to repeat those big numbers, but I'll just report the new tests in the past, reported tests in the past 24 hours in Broward. 1,657. New positives, 158. New hospitalizations, 10, and 1 new death reported in Broward County, and their number is 6.31. This number is a number that is the positives versus the amount of people that have been tested. In Palm Beach County, they've reported 1,460 in the past 24 hours of new tests. New positives, 182 new positives came out of that. 7 new hospitalizations and 3 new deaths were reported there. Their numbers creeped up to 8.30 in Palm Beach County, 8.30. Martin County. Now, Martin County has more or less the same number of people as we have here in St. Lucie County, or here in Indian River County, about 161,000, and we have 160,000 population in our counties. But they've tested 12,748. Their new tests were 186 new testings. They got 48 new positives out of that, and they have 4 new hospitalizations and no new deaths. However, their number is pretty high, 9.55. 9.55. St. Lucie County, that would be Fort Pierce, they brought in or reported 527 new testings in the past 24 hours, new testings in Martin County, 48 reported new positives, and then there were 4 new hospitalizations and no new deaths reported. But look at their number, 9.55. As I said, I don't like that number. In St. Lucie County, they reported 527 new tests in the past 24 hours, 43 new positives, 4 new hospitalizations, and no new deaths reported. Their number is 5.25. Now let's go up to Brevard County, that's Melbourne. They reported 649 new testings in the past 24 hours, new positives 20, new hospitalizations 0, and no new deaths were reported. They have the lowest percentage number, 1.84. Orange County, that's Orlando. They reported 1,750 new tests in the past 24 hours. Those are reportings, of course, as I say each time. They put 152 new positives in there, 1 new hospitalization, and no new deaths were reported. Let's take a look at column F here. Now, column F, state of Florida has a total of 1,758 positives. Now, where are they? In our counties alone, we have 50% of that 1,758 in the counties here on the left-hand side of your screen, the yellow counties over there. We have 894 of the 1,758, or about 50%. In case of hospitalizations, the state reported 73 new hospitalizations, and we have 31 of the 73, which is 42.47. I like that number. It's on the other side of 50. That's good. Now, as far as the deaths are concerned, The new deaths were reported for the entire state of Florida of 7. 6 of those 7 are in our counties over here, the left county. 85% of those 7 are there, or 6, if you will, are there. So those are the numbers for today. And let me take you now to a couple of the charts. Okay, folks, now I'm going to take you over to the chart that I made. This is a chart that I put together just so you could get a clear visualization of the positive cases and how they look. So these are the positive cases that have been reported. Now, this is from May the 14th through June the 15th. This is my little chart here. All the purple ones are the ones that are over 2,000 of positives that came in. And this is current. Today we brought in 1,758. That's this red one over here. All the red ones are over 1,000. The purple ones are over 2,000. We only have 2 purple ones here, but we had one yesterday and the day before. We had 2016 yesterday, and the day before that we had 2581. Then, as you see, these are 1902. These are all over 1,000, but these are the positives that came in. This is a pretty good visualization, I think. I like this as better than anything I've seen so far, not because I made it, but just because I'm looking for a clear way to show you where we are in terms of the positives that are coming in. These are the positives for the entire state of Florida. Now let's go down here and take a look at the deaths. So here we are with the deaths, and this is for the same time period, the 15th of June back through the 14th of May. Now, if you look down here, here is the death for yesterday and the death prior to that, these little green ones way down here. So these are the deaths that are beginning to seem like they're beginning to come down. This is just a visualization so you get an idea of what it looks like for the entire state of Florida. We had a really big spike over here, 89, about 18 days ago, and we had another big spike over here of 70 deaths reported. Now, what we don't know, and this always seems to happen on Mondays and Tuesdays, we don't know exactly what's going on with the numbers when they come in, because the numbers seem to come in on Mondays, especially on Mondays, being unusually low. Now, I don't know if that's because of delay in reporting, but it seemed like you get around to Tuesday and the numbers come up. Now, we did have some pretty big numbers on Saturday as well. All right, now I'm going to show you over here the testings. This is Florida testings. We talked about this before. 1,431,164 and the positives and the deaths. This is what Rebecca Jones is pointing out. She says 1,093,427, and her difference is 337,000. I don't think this is apples to apples. I think this is apples to grapefruits, because she's using the same database. She's getting the same information from the state of Florida, but I think she's including different things in hers. She is including positive antibodies in her tests. Same thing with the positives over here. She's reporting 85,478, and we're reporting 77,328. We, the state of Florida, is reporting that. So her difference is 8,152. And in terms of deaths, I can't reconcile that. I don't know why her deaths are different than the state of Florida's deaths, but her deaths are off by a total of 92. I wanted to show you that just so you get a picture of what Rebecca Jones is reporting, because you're going to hear a lot about her. She's making a lot of press right now, and I'm not going to, again, I'm not throwing her under the bus. That's just what she's getting. Okay, now let's go take a look at the charts. This is Rebecca Jones's chart. It's a nice looking chart. It looks very similar. It's like, they call it a dashboard. And she reports 85,478, which we don't do that, but that's what she's reporting. This is what we reported over here. The Department of Health includes residents and non-residents, 77,326, all positive since March the 1st. She's reporting 85,478. These are the new cases, the recovered cases, and the deaths, and so forth. So I wanted you to see her dashboard, because it is nice. She has the open ICU beds, 1,620 that are available. And then we have over here, there's her total testings, and her total testings is 1,093,427 total people tested, and her percentage rate is 4.61. Anyway, that will give you a clear picture of what Rebecca Jones is up to. Now let's take a look at the global view of the number of cases and deaths for the world and the United States. Here we go with the U.S. cases, 2,096,902. This is as of 12:02 on Monday, 12:02 p.m. on Monday. U.S. deaths, 115,747. Global cases, 7,949,973, and global deaths, 434,081. So there you go. That's a big, quick look at what's going on. I occasionally go out here and show you Denver. There is Denver, Colorado. The entire state of Colorado is confirmed cases, 29,115, deaths, 1,598 in the entire state of Colorado. So those are the numbers for today, for June the 15th, and there is some real concern with the stock market. The stock market is getting a little bit nervous now about the spikes that are going on. The state of New York is having some issues about some of the places up there that seem to be spiking as well, and the governor says, I'm not going to interfere with what you're doing, but I am going to shut you down if some of your areas aren't doing the right thing. The mayor in Miami said the same thing. We may have to readdress this opening business. So it's very important, folks, to keep your eye on what's going on and do as I say. Please, please, please do as I say every day and do the right thing. Wear the mask. Make sure that you sanitize your hands very, very carefully. Make sure you use the mask properly and do the social distancing. Okay, back with more numbers tomorrow about the same time. Have a great day. Here comes my positive thoughts. Hi, everyone. Back in a flash. Here are my today's quotes and positive thoughts for today. Today is June the 15th. It's a Monday, a brand new day of the week. It's a great day out there. Okay, best revenge is massive success. The best revenge is massive success, said by none other than Frank Sinatra. You want to get even with somebody? Be very successful. Show them how good you really are. That'll take the wind out of their sails. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing, but that's why we recommend it daily. Zig Ziglar. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. Life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. More courage you have, better off you are. Keep up that courage. There's only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. There's only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Aristotle. I don't know Aristotle very well. Never actually met Aristotle. As I say every day, always be a part of the solution and never part of the problem. Always be a part of the solution and never part of the problem. And always push the like button. If you like this video, please push it. If you don't like it, then don't watch it anymore, but don't push the not like button. No. Don't do that. Push the like button if you will, please. And have a very, very blessed Monday. It's a great new day, a new week, and the first day of the rest of your life. See ya.